Taking on a blocker has to do primarily with the upper body. Wrong. Taking on a blocker has to do with your base, with the base that you have. Give me a defensive lineman here. Come on. All right. When you take on a blocker, the strongest position you can be in is with the same side foot. Take your right foot and move it forward. The same side foot and contact surface. Go ahead, bend down, bend down. All right, good. That's the strongest position he can be in. All right. I'm 78 years old and I can't budge him. Go ahead. Got it? All right, now put your left foot forward. Yeah. He's a wimp. Yeah. All right. So there are two bases you can be in when you take on blocker. Now let's say he is the blocker this time, and I go to take him on right before contact. I want to set my near foot to him. So I'm going to put that near foot and toe right at him, and that's the strongest position I can be in. Is the upper body important? Yeah, probably about 10% of the upper body. Go ahead, lean it to me. And most people are going to teach you to take on a blocker with your thumbs up, your hands in. That's great. Some are going to teach you to take on a blocker with your shoulder, forearm, and outside hand. That's okay. But you will lose if your base is wrong. So when you take him on, it should be the same side foot and contact surface, whether that's shoulder or the hands that you put in. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, sir.
When you use the opposite foot, when he goes to block me, I will be turned. I will be turned, right? And you will lose. So that's a starting point. So there are two parts to it. If I'm one step from contact, such as a defensive lineman, I'm in my stance. Let's say I'm a defensive end and I'm playing a 5 technique, I'm playing a C gap. I should have my inside foot back and stepping with my inside foot, one step from contact. If I'm a linebacker or a guy off the line, an overhang player, a strong safety or a drop, I may be 5 yards off the ball. And now, as he would come to me, I'm actually going to be on the move, but right before contact, I'm going to skip or hop and stick probably my inside foot into him and explode. Right? The other things about your base is that when your base is short, everybody see my hips here? When your base is short, I can roll my hips. All right? Any of you guys lifting right now? One of the lifts that you're going to learn to do, particularly as you go on to high school, is a power clean. And I would say to you, it's the most dangerous of all the lifts, the one you can be injured in the most if you don't do it correctly. But we all stressed bench press, curls, all those. I'm just telling you, on defense, it's the power clean. And so I'm going to set that base, and then see how I can roll my hips? That's the power clean. I'm exploding. I'm exploding with my hips. Now, if I go to take him on, and I take him on with a long base, not a short base, what happens to my hips? They're locked. I can't roll them. So as I go to take on this blocker, I don't want to be here. I go to take on this blocker, I want a short base, right? And I don't know if I'm getting into too many details with this coach, but the other small point is that your hips, which are your strength, follow your front toe. So when I go to take him on, I put my toe right down the middle and my hips explode into him. Watch what happens if I go to him and my toe is turned. Where do my hips go? My hips go here. All right, and I want them here. All right, thank you. So what I would do every spring was I would take every spring the best defensive lineman, the best inside linebacker, the best outside linebacker, the stud defensive back. I'd put all 4 of them up I'd put them in the same position that you were in. I wouldn't be able to budge any of them when they were in the same side foot and shoulder concept. And even at my old age, I would turn all of them like a top when their bases were incorrect. So if you want to be strong, it's much more important. You waste all your weight room strength if you take on a blocker with the opposite foot and contact surface. All right? So that's the taking on a blocker, hit and shed basics. And then Coach wanted me to mention to you tackling. I would say this to you, that those who want to tackle are usually the best tacklers, but there are some very key elements to it. Come on up here, stranger. Good to see you again. This guy's always got a smile on his face when I see him. All right, so when I go to make a tackle, if he's got the ball in his right arm, as I go to make a tackle, I'm going to approach him and I want to bite the ball. Bite the ball. I want to take my face and I want to put my mouth right on the ball. Bite the ball and then club with the arms and run my feet. When I bite the ball, where does the top of my helmet go? Yeah, it's up. It's up. All right? I don't want the top of my helmet here. Why don't I want my helmet down?
Because you can't see.
I can't see. So now as I get to this point and he makes a move, all right, I'm not in the position to make it. All right? And also, I don't want to get called for targeting. I don't want to hurt him and I don't want to hurt myself, right? And so the biggest issue is that now, as I approach him, my hat looks to him, and I'm going to bite the ball. We are doing right now with LOA varsity, we've got them doing it twice a week with every position. And I got this from Bill McCartney at the University of Colorado. We call it tempo tackling. And essentially what we do is we get a group of maybe 4 or 5 at one position on one side, and a group of 4 or 5 at the other position. Listen, yeah, at the other side, and we're about 5 yards apart. And he'll be the ball carrier, and one after another, it's tempo. In about 3 minutes, we can wear you out with tackles. But what he'll do is he'll simply go 5 yards that way or 5 yards that way. He has an imaginary ball in the middle of his body, and then he'll simply go like this and head that way. And so as he does that, I am going to shuffle, stay inside out on him. I'm going to press, and now I am going to bite the ball, club with my arms, and turn them parallel. It's live, except we don't take them down. And so you can do this in shells, you can do it in full pads. We even do it in shorts with bags, right? But that tackling drill, we can do twice a week, and I can tell you, I coached over 20 NFL linebackers. The guys who tackle well are the guys I want to play on defense. Pure and simple. I can teach them to take on blockers. I can teach them the rest, but the guys who have the want to bite the ball and club with their arms, those are the guys who become special. All right. I bore you enough?
No, Coach.